Button and you'll be here. Welcome, Ruby.
Hey Sharon, how are you doing?
Fine, and how are you?
I'm doing well. So good to see you. So
Good
excited to
to
be here
see
today.
you too. It's so nice to be with you again. This one more official
Yeah.
than our last two. Um, I'd love for you to just share a little bit about your journey. You started as a child having these abilities. How was that for you? What was that like?
Well, when I was a child, it didn't seem like much other than that I was going crazy. It felt a lot overwhelming, very overwhelming. Um,
Hmm.
but over time, it started to kind of unveil itself as like, oh, this is something you can use in the real world. And then I started, and what really got me it was out of necessity, but out of starting to realize like, oh, your mood changes as the moon changes, like things like that. And I was like, okay, that's astrology. This is pretty cool. Okay, great. Astrology is, and so it became like nothing else could explain what was going on except energy change. I was very, very sensitive to a lot of things. And even now my mom's like, oh my gosh, that's why you felt like this and you couldn't do that. And all of it. But it was just so hard to see as a child because my dad was military. We were moving around so much. There were so many variables that could not have possibly been, I guess, just nothing could explain it because we were just always moving, new schools. Of course, kids are going to be awkward. I'm going to be like, whoa, like, so it was just a lot, but it was beautiful as it unraveled because then it was like, oh, wow, like you didn't go through that for nothing. Like, this is very helpful. And so, yeah, that's how it started. And what was pain became empowerment, which is what I now try to share with others.
Hmm. What was pain became empowerment. That is very possible. That is very powerful.
Yeah.
And as you work with people, that's a powerful words right there.
Yeah. And in astrology, what I use to do for my coaching, I pinpoint two things. I don't go to like when everyone says, okay, I'm going to get a birth chart reading, it's like the first thing they go to is what's my love life going to be like? What's my money life going to be like? You know, the things that we just see on the outside, right? The top
Right.
part, the nice and shiny part, And but what they don't realize is that your shadow parts of your chart, which is the rest of it that you're like, ugh, that's me. That's what no, I didn't think anybody knew that about me. I like that kind of stuff, or maybe I'm like that. I'm a little bit like this, or jealousy, or whatever. The things that just society taboos and lets us know that, okay, maybe that's not okay to say out loud. And then you repress it. And that's the two things that I focus on. They're called the nakshatra, which is on the Vedic chart. I use that from there as the main shadow work aspect. And then I use the Chiron placement, which is your core wound in the Western chart. And that is something, neither of those are things that you can take. This is your cosmic blueprint. You chose this before you got here. And so you can go through life and be like me, like, whoa, like I'm not sure what I'm looking for, but I'm looking for something until you finally hit, like, okay, let's take everything else away. Let's figure out like a science experiment, the scientific method, like let's have a control group. And then you realize, okay, whoa, this affects me this way. And so yeah, I looked into my Chiron placement, boom, 12th house, like it's all about the subconscious deep healing, wounds and whoa. I was like, that explains a lot. And so I use those two things. The nakshatra is very great because it also helps you kind of like show you like your patterns from past lives and so that you don't repeat that again. And so it's all there for you. And I was watching a psychiatrist the other day, and she even said, she was like, honestly, people used to use birth charts for this kind of work, and I don't know why we ever got away from it. She's like, yeah, I have all of these certificates and degrees, but all I really need is the chart in front of me. So that there's an excuse as to why I'm like this or they're like this. Because once you face that, when you know where to start from, instead of being like, I have no clue what's going on, then you have a point to work from. This is how you start in the 3D to get to 5D. Everything is tangible. It's in front of you. It's a step-by-step guide. You know this about yourself and this about yourself. And from there, you transform yourself. And it's just a beautiful thing if people will let go of societal pressures and taboo and just worrying about what other people think. You can do so much in this life if you just choose to do that for yourself. So it's so important.
Ruby, that's just beautifully put. Just beautifully put. So, your talk today is a mind, body, spirit approach to healing. When the path clears, your power awakens. Remove your inner obstacles and awaken the power. It's just beautiful the way that you've been able to use these two tools to really support people in moving forward. And so today we're going to be talking about, she says, we are at the dawn of a new era. Abrupt changes are sweeping through the world like wildfire. And AI and technology are expanding at an unstoppable rate. Yet amidst the distractions and unease, a deeper longing for truth and inner healing is emerging.
Yes.
Ruby will explore the power of using a mind, body, spirit approach and share how ancient spiritual tools and practices can help us overcome personal obstacles, discover our life's true purpose, and awake our limitless creative potential within. So that's such a beautiful approach. How do you, so I guess you begin with a person kind of using your own awareness too. Can you speak to that, your abilities, your,
Yeah. So I'll start off by saying everyone has abilities. Okay. There's this big thing that's like, oh, that's just for this kind of no. We all have abilities we have not tapped into, and that's what this era is all about. Um, we just came out of I'm sorry, the Piscean era. That's what that's called. That's the era of put your head down, don't ask questions, say, just say whatever you need to the man, to the boss, whatever, and just go about your day and live this programmed life. You don't ask questions, you don't do anything. You just live it, you look good to others, everything looks good, we're good. We're not in that era anymore, as probably most people can see. People are speaking up, people are asking questions, people are just wondering, like, why did I do this for so long? Like, people are questioning religious belief around, and that's across all, I'm not pinpointing any. And there are truths in every, but there are also, those books went into hands of very, very strong people, very powerful people. And so there was human interference. And so this is the time where we're like, whoa, like this is okay. There's something that we need to start thinking about. And that's where abilities come through. When you start to focus on anything, that becomes stronger, right? If you get a car, you're like, oh, now I see this car everywhere. Where do you think that came from? You made a neuroplasticity, like because you were like, oh, okay, great. Like now I'm focused on this. I'm focusing, and this has become more of my reality. Now, that's just one aspect. But if you do that to yourself and you say, hey, like, I want to improve on this particular thing, like whether that's losing weight or becoming a better person, or I want to look more like that. I want to do this. I want to speak in front, when you start to do that, your spirit is telling your body and everything, your biology is working together with it. That's the three: mind, body, spirit, because before it was just mind and body that we paid attention to. But the link of the spirit was the most important. That created the finish, right? Things start to change. So then you're like, whoa, I'm I don't know how this is happening, but I'm becoming different, better, stronger, faster, better speaker, this, that. And so I think I just had to understand that as a kid, because it was no other, like I couldn't just have like an emotionally stable like day. And so in college, I was like, why is it that the other kids are like so like focused and I can't, what is going on here? I just know that there's something that's off. And it's just, I had to just tune in on every little thing. I had to focus and pay attention to the way I eat, the way I sleep, check things off a checklist, like the way I go about my day, the way I compartmentalize the time of my day to be able to, I started reading autobiographies of very successful people. And it seemed in so many books, like, and I was just like, they all have something in common. They just had a turn on one day and was like, I think I could be something different. Like, I just want to start to change, so that comes from you get shown this. This is higher conscious. This is your higher self speaking to you in little bits. If you'll listen, if you'll tune in, if you'll pay attention, everyone has those things like, oh, when I was little, I used to draw. When I was little, I used to do this. And a lot of speakers have spoken of this, like in your inner child, right? That's those are clues on this journey. And if you pay attention to those, like you're like, oh, like I have an ability to, connect with people in a way that other people can't. And you don't even realize this until you start talking to other people about it. And you're like, I just saw, did anybody else see that? And so it's so many things. Some people can manipulate elements. Some people can just get like really enhanced visuals of different things. I've always been more of like a knowing, like a claircognizant, like, oh, boom, that's what that is. And they'll be like, how do you know? I don't know. It just came through. I just started paying attention to it. And it just gets stronger and stronger now. And it's so strong now to the point that I can now rely on my own discernment, which I never did before, completely on, okay, I can do this. Or, yeah, no, that's right. I think that's how I'm going to live the rest of my life. Like I'm going to go off of my gut feeling, my knowing, whenever I get into conversations, even if I was, because I was shy as a kid, but whenever I got put in front of a situation where I could stand out, it's like something came over me. And that was the same because I sing. And I was like, oh wow, like that's cool. Speaking, same thing. Like I noticed that I was good with, speaking and whenever I really cared about someone, like, and I wanted to use what I had to help them, it just came through. And I was like, I don't know where that came from, but that's how it started unraveling for me.
It
And it
is
can happen for
just
anybody.
It is just such a delight, Ruby, to see such a young woman with such knowledge and such abilities to help people. It just shows that you have really been guided, for a better word, into what, yes, into where you are right now. And I spoke about Pisces and the Aquarian age on the day one. I don't know if you heard that or not, but yes, it's so true. We are changing so rapidly now, and people don't quite understand why, but the planet is just gifted with these new lights.
Mhm.
And so I have a question. When someone is still in the dark, perhaps,
Mhm.
and yet they're in a lot of pain at that time. What have you been able to say, perhaps, or share that kind of wakes them up and gets them to question within? Because I see this a lot. People are still looking for answers out, even if they have a lot of problems.
Yeah.
Have you found any clues as to what works for in your experience?
So I naturally see incongruencies that stand out to me and kind of don't leave me alone when I meet people. And that has taken people away from me. That has, because there are some people who don't want to face these things. And
Yes.
so if they'd say one thing, and they'd say like, oh, I've always wanted to do that, but then I see that there's a pattern that's inhibiting that, then I say, hey, like, so you really want to do this, right? So what would it be like if you could? What would your life be like? Would you be happier? Like, how do you feel like you would
Beautiful.
like visualize this for yourself? And the reason why that's so important is because people have to come to this themselves. It can't be someone else telling them like how to live their life. But if you just point out things, because I already know in my head, like you had an intuitive hit yourself. I'm pointing this out. So if you like this and you want your life to look a certain way, and I see that there's a pattern, I that's my job. My job is to pinpoint what exactly is incongruent. I'm the bridge between you and your higher self. I'm just here to facilitate this. You're doing this yourself. I'm just here to help guide you along the process between you and your highest and best life, you and your dream life, you and your dream person, you and your dream anything, status, whatever. And a lot of the times, people have this idea of society like based things like, oh, I need to have this huge house and this nice car. And but I look at their chart and they're all love. They want a home. They want dogs and animals and they want to, and it's like, oh, so so from there, I'm not gonna say, whoa, you're living this. No, like this is a process. I have compassion for them. I myself was completely in denial of the things that I thought was gonna make me happy until I was like, whoa, like, no, Ruby, like just try it out. Just see if this works for you. So I do this for people, and so it really, to answer your question, I tailor it to every person. And my claircognizance comes in really strong for that because every person is so different. And I can feel how they speak to me. Like I can feel the feelings behind the words. Like, oh, I love my job. Like, and I just get the slap in my face, like, do you like because what did you do when you were a kid, like, and okay, but your parents didn't like you doing that. Okay, got it. Like because they didn't think it was going to make money. Okay, got it. Okay, gotcha. And so from there, that's always been a thing, and it won't leave me alone because for me it's like, oh, I see this and I see this. You're here and what you want is here, and you're doing things that keep you here. But my thing is to go in and be like, hey, what about if you just tried this little by little? And then before they knew it, they're like, wait, I always knew yes, you did. Yes, you did. And
Uh,
now that's what I do because I'm not planning on keeping someone for the rest of their life as a client. My job is to be like Mary Poppins. I'm here till I'm not needed anymore and I'm gone. And it's just so fulfilling to me. I've told people, I was like, I know I came here to do this. Like, because the people have told me that I've helped, because I've helped a lot of people and for free because I want to make sure that this is the law of compensation, by the way. Whatever you give is whatever you get. I don't really, I'm going to attract wealth regardless. But people have come to me and said, Ruby, I don't know what you did, but my life has changed. I
mm,
feel like I'm more in control. And I said, you did that. I just showed you what it was. And then that's one aspect, okay? The other part is removing trapped emotion because we do come in from past lives with emotional baggage that needs to be released right off the bat. So that's something that you're literally just being weighed down, and you can't have this clear connection to source, your higher self, God, whatever you call it, whoever you pray to. um if there's interference, it's like a radio signal, and so removing trapped emotions, which is emotion code, is what I'm formally certified as a practitioner for that. Removing those things creates space for you to breathe. Your energy field, which extends 6 feet out, beyond you, is cleared now. Now people first tell me, like, I feel like usually when I'm in this situation, I can't, I have not been able to distinguish that. But now when I'm in this situation, I had a moment of peace to think, like, do I really want to react that way or not? And that right there is understated power. Because the moment you realize you are controlling every single thing in your life that is compounded over time, that is growth. That is change. That is you creating your reality. All the other speakers that have come on here know about this too. Inner speaking about yourself, like that's so powerful. And this is what coaching like will help you do. Like, you don't think it's part of it. You don't think that, you speaking to yourself a certain way is it does. All of it. It's a program. This is a matrix. You have control, and you're going to create regardless. Why not create something that you would love to be in? Because there is so much help for you to do that here. The universe is made that way for you. So I'm just here to help you take advantage of that.
mm, just beautiful. So, what is the free gift that you are offering, Ruby, to our listeners?
Yes, I'm gonna give out a guide for living. I think I called it like a I'm not sure. Oh yeah, it's a how to start the inner healing process guide. But I also wanted to offer, if anyone wants to just email me, there's also a pop-up link on my site, weareslr.com. If you enter your information, I can either help you with like a mini astrology shadow chart, astrology based chart, just to kind of give you the two aspects that we spoke of today to get you started. Or you can just email me and let me know, like, hey, I'm not really sure what kind of service I want. What do you recommend? Or just a consultation. That's for free. You can just enter my email or email me or enter your stuff into my page at weareslr.com.
Beautiful. And I will send that out today when I send the recording out.
Okay, thank you so much, Sharon.
Oh, thank you so much, Ruby. It just, you just come through as such a bright spirit and such a passion to help everybody and able to do that with your own abilities. So
Yes.
thank you so much for being here. It's been a delight.
Thank you, Sharon. Thank you so much for having me, and you all have a great day. Thank
You
you.
too. Bye. So I invite you all to get out your pens and pencils.